All right, y'all. If y'all hear anything in the background, it is my actual fan because it's hot out here. I'm fixing to redo this stool. I am going to first spray it with some shellac because I want some cracking and crazing, and I'm going to be using Sweet Pickins milk paint, and I'm going to be reupholstering that. So stay tuned. If y'all hear anything in the background, it's my fan. I am taking these legs off of here to make this easier to paint for me. And then I'll put it back together once I'm done painting. I won't let you sit here and watch me take all these apart though. All right, I am going to use Sweet Pickins milk paint. I've got basil and olive. I'm going to mix these together and see if I can't create that green color that I want. I want to give a shout out to the Painted Purple lady. That's where I bought my Sweet Pickins milk paint from. And also she sent me this as a gift and I love it. And also to Ginger Chick Rehab. I started watching her a long time ago and she is the one that taught me to use the shellac, and she brought my attention to the Sweet Pickins milk paint. So that's what we're going to do in just a second. All right, on the Sweet Pickins milk paint, you use equal parts water to equal parts paint. And I also sell Belly Welly. I do not sell the paint, but these are my containers. Great way to reuse them. So anyway, I'm going to pour one in here of the basil, and then I've got olive. I'm going to put an equal portion. You'll see it's a little bit lighter to lighten this up, because you can actually mix these colors. And again, I give credit to this for Ginger Chick Rehab. I actually love her. She's goals. Put the lid on. Put this over here. Now you can actually mix this in different ways. Like you can make it thick as you want or thin as you want. But as long as you use equal parts, or you can use more or less. It depends on how thick you want it. I'm going to use a little less, just to see if I can get it a little bit thicker. And then we're going to stir this up. You're going to stir it up until it's the consistency of a milkshake. And then once you get it mixed up really, really good, I wish I had a smaller container to mix it with, but I feel like this is too thin. It's going to thicken up a little bit as you go. You got to let it sit for about 15 or 20 minutes. All right, I just use a chippy brush. Got it the consistency. We're gonna try it and see if this will work. I did put 2 coats of shellac on this, so we're just gonna kind of put this on here liberally, because I do want it to have some crazing and crackling and stuff. Although I could not find my dark wax. We'll see if I can find that. I've got my clear wax. We're just gonna get down in here. We may need 2 coats. I absolutely love this green color. Like, it makes me so happy to look at it. If you've watched me enough, you know that I love vintage and antiques and primitives, and I just love old stuff. I guess I used to be told I was an old soul, so I don't know. But I'm not worried about full coverage, to be honest with you. I want this to look old. And again, if you hear anything in the background, I do not have my mic on today. It is the fan. Trying to make sure y'all can get in the picture here. I'm going to paint one side and let it dry and lay it down, and then I'll paint the other side. I'm going to go ahead and get all the sides on one done. Here's another one. We got 4 legs to do, and then the base. Again, if y'all want this paint, I do not sell it, but you can get it from the Painted Purple lady. You can find her online. And if you want tips of how to do this, you can reach out to Ginger Chick Rehab or watch her YouTube videos. She is amazing. I love her. I've watched her for years, ever since she started. And she's one of my favorite creatives on YouTube. She's also on Facebook. So you can check her out too. Because she's the one that I got this color from. I absolutely love this color. It's like the old-timey green like my grandma had and grandparents had. It makes me feel nostalgic. Let's see. Let's get this top right here done. I am a messy crafter, painter, creator. So it's just how it is. I've learned to be myself. And there's no other way to be than just be yourself, okay? All right, I'm gonna get this on here. The shellac is what I learned from Ginger Chick Rehab with the milk paint. Sometimes you get crazy and crackling, and sometimes you do not. So it's what you see is what you get with milk paint. You never know what you're gonna get with it. I just know that I wanted to redo this. My husband bought this ottoman for me for my vanity years ago, and it just doesn't match my decor like I like. So I'm gonna redo it. He don't mind. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these painted up, and then I will be back. All right, now I'm starting on the base. I got the legs painted. There was no need of me boring you watching that. This is the base that the cushion attaches to. And also we're gonna have an upholstery portion of this video too, where I'm recovering the cushion that goes on it. So just FYI, y'all stick around. You know what makes me think whenever I'm redoing furniture? It's almost like when God works on us, right? God works on our hearts on the inside. And no matter what we do to the outside of ourselves, we can't hide what's truly on the inside. I just thought about that a minute ago. Like, you can't, whatever, I can paint this furniture all I want to, but whatever was underneath is still underneath, right? So if you're a good person, you can, it don't matter what you do to the outside. If you're a good person, you're a good person. But if you're not a good person and you're a bad person on the inside, you can dress it up any way you want to, put on a show, you know, but it's still the same underneath. I don't know why that just came to me just now, but it did. So I aspire to be beautiful on the inside, because your beauty from inside eventually shows on the outside. I guess that's y'all's lesson today in creating with Dawn at Carville Creations. Because this is a real page with real people. My videos are not perfect. They never will be perfect. I am a one-woman show. Y'all haven't not saw me on here in a while because honestly I got burned out. I had a craft show and it stressed me out. I enjoyed it, but I put too much pressure on myself. So I kind of took a little hiatus. I think I got all those sides. Did I get them all yet? Yep. All right, we're gonna set this here and let it dry, and I will be back. All right, so I got this material. It's material, but it's actually, they had these at the discount store. They're actually old mattress covers for hospitals. They were brand new. I bought them 50 cents a pack. So I'm gonna actually use this fabric to cover this with. But the trick right now is I gotta see if I can see this print under here. And I don't think you're going to be able to. So I'm going to cut this up for here. To cover this with. So I'm going to go cut this out really quick. Let's see here. Let's lay it down. You're going to see, this is the back of it. This has got a zipper, okay? So I'm going to undo this zipper. And I'm going to probably have to iron this, but I'll do that off video. I'm going to cut this to fit this. So if y'all out and you see like sheets, quilts, not quilts, but like sheets, material, like I said, this is a actual fabric mattress cover. You can also use drop cloths. I was going to tea stain this before I put it on here, and I'm still debating. But when you cut this out, you're going to give enough, you got to leave enough room to be able to wrap it around. See on this side, that's plenty of room right there. I'm going to move it down a little bit so I got to cut that zipper off. And then you're going to come down here. Just got to make sure you give yourself enough room to be able to wrap it around and staple it on the bottom. You don't want so much that it makes it bulky. I'm just getting this done right here so that I can get this big piece gone. But I am still debating whether I'm going to tea stain this or not. I'm thinking I am going to tea stain it or either coffee stain it, because I feel like it would give it that primitive vibe that I'm looking for. So then you're going to turn this over right here. You're going to see, I think I got it almost just right, to be honest. I think that's going to work. But I think, like I said, I think I may tea stain this. I'm going to iron this before I put it on here. And I'll be back. Alright, I decided that I am going to coffee stain. I've just got some instant coffee here, cheap. I think it was from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to add some cinnamon in there. And again, this props goes out to Ginger Chick Rehab. It's a little different way that she does it. And I'm going to use her way. So, we'll see how it works. You kind of put this over in there. You're going to let it dissolve. And then you're going to add your cinnamon. Your cinnamon kind of changes that color more to a primitive vibe. You're going to stir this up till it's all mixed up. I used warm water. You'll see it stirring up. You want to mix it until you get everything mixed in. It's warm, like I said again, it's warm water. If I had a solidifier, it would be better, but I don't, so. Woo, it smells good. That cinnamon smells amazing. All right, now I'm going to put this down in here, and once I do this, I'm going to wring it out. I'm going to throw it in the dryer, let it dry, and then I'll iron it. And see, all you do is put this down in there and let it get good and coated, because what's it going to do is it's going to grunge up that material, because I want that primitive look on these. And you can even let it sit as long as you want to. Just make sure you open it up and everything gets coated. Not want to wear gloves. I'm not worried about my hands. So, see how it's changing that color? It's going to look grungy. And again, I just use instant coffee and some cinnamon. You can leave the cinnamon out if you don't like that. This is coffee stain, so I like the smell of the cinnamon. And plus it adds a different, more of a primitive vibe. See? How it's changing that material? That's what I want. I'm gonna let this sit here for a little bit and soak, try to get a little bit darker. And then once it does that, I'm gonna dry it, I'm gonna iron it, and then I'll be back. All right, y'all, I had a little issue here because I cannot find my dark wax. I don't know what I done with it. I did another project on a train case, and I don't have that video because I accidentally deleted it. That was a whole ordeal. But anyway, so I've got my clear wax, and then I had some oil-based color putty, right? So I put the clear wax on here, and then I put the oil-based putty on here, and I'm gonna see if I can wax this with that because I need the wax to go down into that craving. So the crazing on here. So let's see if it's going to work. All right. So I'm just gonna take this and we're gonna rub. Oh yes, it's working. All right, so that's gonna go down into all of those. It's a little bit lighter. I love my dark wax. I just don't know where it's at. But you really gotta seal this paint in with wax. So, and I wanted a little bit of color in it to bring out everything. And this is gonna work. So again, I just had to kind of be creative because I cannot find my dark wax, and I don't know where it went to. It's here somewhere, but I just can't seem to find it today. So I'm gonna go ahead and wax this up right here. And I couldn't just put some water-based paint in there because you can't mix a water and a oil. It will not work, trust me. So we're gonna wax this up just like this. See how it changes the colors? You may not can tell, probably not, because the lighting is terrible out here. But I will be getting some good pictures of it, okay? Like I said, I am a one-woman show, and it just is what it is at this point until I get better. But you get creative. You can find a way when you can't find something you need. You can get creative and find other ways. This is actually making it really pretty there. But I do love my dark wax because I wanted it to get down into those crevices. And if you ever can't tell where you waxed before, just feel of it. You'll be able to tell it feels like silk. And this seals that paint in. You have to seal milk paint in. It changes the looks of it, makes it complete. All right, I'm gonna finish waxing this up and we'll be back. All right, so now we're just gonna put this back together. There's only one way these go. There's the back, it goes right here. So we're gonna have to, it's kind of tricky. Just gotta put the legs back on. All right, I'll tighten them down good after I get everything else done. All right, you gotta be very precise. Will it help if I put them on straight, right? It's not hard to put together, it's just awkward. And I'll be back after I get through with this. All right, I have a little change of plan. I'm still going to use the one that I coffee stain, but I feel like I need to cover this with a piece of fabric before I put the coffee stain on, because I really don't want this peeking through after I get done with it, okay? So here's what we're fixing to do. We're going to cover it first with this, okay? And I have seemed to have lost my stapler. Oh, no, I didn't. Here it is. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is you're going to pull it tight on each side. I may have to nail that in a little bit because it sure didn't go, did it? Let's see. And you're going to flip it around and go evenly . You don't want it to pull. I should have pulled it, made sure it was tighter on the back side. I hope I did. It's kind of loose, but I think we can make it up on this side right here. So go ahead and pull tight right here. We can cut that excess off. Yeah, see? We're getting it tight right there. So then these corners right here, you're gonna pull tight right here and fold that over. Try to do it tight as you can because you don't want that to be bulky. And just get it taut as you can get it right here on that little corner right here. And you're just going to keep pulling in. We can cut this off. Let's go around and get these other corners first. You're going to pull it in as tight as you can get it on this corner right here, okay? Let's get this other corner done. And then you're going to pull that tight right there neatly. Then we're going to come right up to this edge right here because we're going to cut that excess off. See, we got it tight. I could have got away with not covering it with one piece before the other, but I just wanted to be safe because I didn't want to do all that work and then it showed through and not be satisfied with it. All right, so now what we're going to do is you're going to cut all this little excess right here off. I'm going to put me another staple right here. It ain't got to look pretty on the bottom. We're going to cut this excess off right here. So we got that first cover on, okay? We could have got away with it. The other one is in the dryer. I tea stained it. I don't know how good the tea is gonna take because each fabric takes it differently. But this is our first layer right here. And I'll be back whenever the other material gets through and we'll cover it. All right, got the other piece right here. Just as I suspected, the dye didn't take all the way, but it did dingy it up a little bit. I was gonna iron this, but after I pulled the other one tight, I don't think I need to. If it's a mistake, then you learn from me, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and get this first over here. Let me turn it around when you can see what I'm doing. We're gonna go ahead and get this first side tight right here. I had to stop and reload my stapler. All right. We're gonna get this side tight right here. Just go ahead and pull tight. Now let's turn it around like this. We got to make sure that we've got everything tight coming around so we don't have any puckers. This material is very forgiving, but you can, I don't want any puckers. So let's go ahead and get this side right here done. Get this side, this middle right here done. Get it. I have a little surprise that I'm going to put on this thing when I'm done. It's not just going to be plain. Key to upholstering is to make sure that it's neat on the front, and if a piece is going to be hid on the bottom, if I'm not selling it, I really don't care what the bottom looks like, to be honest with you. And any poking up, you can take a little hammer and kind of put those back in. See, we don't have any puckers. And also just make sure that your corners, you want to pull that corner right here in and then fold these two over that because you don't want your corners looking ugly, okay? Same thing right here. Pull this in right here, fold that corner over, and then make sure you got that pucker out of there. Pull it tight right here. Other side, same thing. You're gonna pull this corner tight right in here, the middle part tight. Then you're gonna fold this over, make sure that there's no pucker on that other side. And you don't want it to be real bulky because we want it to set down when we put it on our frame. Another one, you're gonna pull this middle tight. Then you're going to get that pucker out right there, and you're going to pull this over just like this. Now we're going to finish our sides. Let's look at the front. See? Looks really neat and finished. Now, I will tell you that I've never reupholstered a couch before, so I may have to take that on one day just to see if I can do it as a challenge. All right, let's get right here and get these in. Look around and see any places that may be a little loose, and you're just going to pop a staple in there. Make sure you got plenty of staples and a staple gun before you try to start doing anything like this. I have to nail that one down. Right here, a little loose. Then you're gonna cut that excess off. I'm gonna put some more right here because I feel like they're a little bit too loose for my liking. Take that excess off. And I'm gonna tell you too, now if I was selling this, I would probably cover this part up with something, but I'm not. I'm keeping it for myself. And we have got that covered, you see? Now this is to show you what I'm gonna put on here. So we'll be back. Hey, okay, so if y'all are still here, thank you for staying. We're getting on the last leg. I have got a transfer from Iron Orchid Designs that I'm going to put on here. Now to prep this, I sealed in this material. They don't say that you can use it on fabric, but I've done it before. Something that you're not gonna wash in the washing machine, you'll be fine, okay? I'm going to transfer, I sealed this in with shellac and let it dry. And that way it prepped this surface to accept this, okay? When I'm through, I will seal it back in. You can seal it in with Mod Podge, which is what I may do because it's better, it seals it in. And that's what we're gonna do. And I've decided I'm going to put this chicken right here. Anna, sorry, that's my daughter. Go get my scissors. I forgot my scissors. I'm going to put this chicken on here. I wish it was bigger, but it's not, but it'll give us some aesthetic on here to have something on here, okay? So I'm gonna do that. Let's see what else we got here. I do have some other black and white transfers too, but I'm probably just gonna put the chicken on there and be done with this one. And with the transfers, when you get the IOD transfers, and all right, sorry about that. My phone memory was real and I had to delete some stuff. Anyway, you're going to cut this chicken out. You actually don't have to cut him out, but it's just easier when you've got a paper with different things on it. So got this cut out. All right, set this over here. When you order IOD, the transfers always come with your little stick too. So I'm going to measure this right here to see how long. If you hear anything, it's my son. It's 20 inches. So I pretty much got it centered already. So then you're gonna peel this back. And I'm gonna trust myself that I still have it centered. If you don't trust yourself, measure again. And let's just see if this transfers onto this material. Yep, it's transferring. And with these transfers, you just rub and it'll come off. If you hear somebody talking in the background, it's my son. I'm in the living room because it was hot outside.
I'm not trying to be loud. Mama just got
You just, this is actually transferring very easy for me, and it's because I prepped my surface, okay? Now, I would not do this on anything that you have to put in the washer, all right? And then you're gonna take your paper and you're gonna and then there is your transfer. All right, y'all, here is the after. To say that I'm proud of this is an understatement. I think it looks so good. It looks vintage. You never would have known it had cheetah on it. Thank y'all for watching. If you don't mind, share, like, and follow my page. Thanks.